One of the most popular sweet treats in Brazil, this is brigadeiro. It takes only 4 ingredients to make and it is super tasty. To a pot, add sweetened condensed milk, cocoa powder, and butter, mixed to combine. While cooking, you're going to constantly stir until thickened, pour onto a plate, and store in the fridge for a minimum of 2 hours. Using your lightly oiled hands, roll into a ball and drown in these lovely chocolate sprinkles. That's it. Hope you guys enjoy.
Today we're making a delicious Oreo molten cake, and it's so easy to make. It only takes 4 ingredients. That is just stupid delicious. First, we want to blend up 2 whole packs of Oreo cookies.
Listen, yeah, that.
Then we want to mix together 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder and 2.5 cups of milk.
Yo, yeah, that.
Now we want to pop this into a 350-degree oven for about 40 to 45 minutes. And there you have it, Oreo molten cake.
They say that life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. But what if I don't want that? What if I want to know exactly what I'm going to get? Well, this boxy block of pure, milky smooth chocolate might just be the culinary solution to that. To make it, you'll need to heat up some milk, sugar, and salt in the pan, chop up some chocolate and add it in, stir and cook until it's thick, and then add some agar powder mixed with milk into the chocolate. Let it simmer gently for 2 to 3 minutes, then pour it into a mold or loaf tin. Pop this into the fridge for 3 hours until it's completely set, then flip it out and dig it in. You'll get this jiggly, almost jelly-like chocolate pudding that is as smooth as they come. And the best thing is, you'll always know what you're going to get with this, which is the milkiest, silkiest chocolate all the way through. Unlike in life, I suppose, because...
Delicious s'mores bars are almost too good to be true. A really nice take on that wonderful campfire classic, starting off with a graham cracker cookie base that is beyond easy to make. Smush that down right into one even layer, and then you're going to top this with a lot of marshmallow fluff. Spread that out, and then top with chopped chocolate, and you know the best kind to use for a s'mores bar. Place those in along with more dollops of graham cracker cookie crust, more marshmallow, and a piece or 2 more of chocolate. Once you're satisfied, this is ready to pop into the oven, and just like that, it's ready to enjoy. Happy baking!
Let's make Nama chocolate.
I am back with another Roy's recipe because these are so damn expensive, and we both know you bought crypto at an all-time high, so I'm here to save you some bills. This only requires 4 ingredients. Add some butter to some heavy cream, and when it's hot, pour it over some dark chocolate. Give it a stir until it's smooth and it reaches a consistency that's kind of like goop. I don't know, is that a thing? Then pour it into a tray lined with parchment paper. Spread it all out evenly, and congratulations, you are now a pastry chef because you've just made a ganache. Leave it in the fridge for 2 hours to set, and then cut into blocks with a warm knife. The last ingredient is actually cocoa powder. We're just going to toss our chocolate through them. These are so soft that they are barely holding on together as a solid.
It just melts.
This chocolate lasagna is the perfect no-bake dessert. It's super delicious and it's easy to make, so let me show y'all how. So you're going to start by crushing a pack of Oreos. Then you're going to melt half a stick of butter, pour that on top of your Oreos, and give it one last spin. Throw that in a casserole dish and pack it. Then you want to put it in the freezer while you're doing the next step. Take a softened block of cream cheese and mix until it is a whipped consistency. Throw in a 1/4 cup of sugar and a splash of milk and give it one more mix. Now you're going to add 8 ounces of Cool Whip and combine that with the cream cheese mixture. Now you can go ahead and take about half of that and put it on top of your Oreos and pop it back in the freezer while you're doing the next step. Take 1 package of chocolate instant pudding, add 2 cups of cold milk and mix together and let this sit up for about 5 to 10 minutes. Once your pudding is firm, you can go ahead and apply another layer to your dish. Now you want to go ahead and add your last layer of that Cool Whip and cream cheese. You can top it off with some chocolate chips, and then you're going to want to let it sit in the refrigerator for a few hours before you dig in. So I hope y'all enjoy.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but welcome to day 99 of my 100 Days of Easy Recipes series. And today I'm sharing what might just be the best chocolate cake of all time. The best way to describe it is kind of like a giant melt-in-the-middle chocolate cake. It's rich, gooey, decadent, and so incredibly delicious. You might think something this delicious must be very complicated to make, but trust me, it's so much easier than you think and hard to get wrong. So there we are, 99 recipes down, 1 to go. Make sure to follow, and I will see you tomorrow.
We're back. Another homemade chocolate bar. And this time there's a new mold in town. I've been seeing these crazy chocolates all over my For You, where they take a bite and gooiness stuff comes out. So we are going to recreate. Of course, I grabbed my Ruby chocolate, a little ASMR unwrapping, and we're using 2 chocolate bars since this mold is much bigger. Breaking them through so it's easier to melt. And before we go to the stove, because yes, I don't have a microwave, I'm adding some coconut oil. Oh, and by the way, make sure you follow my Instagram because TikTok is getting banned in the US. Now for the fill-in, I made white chocolate, dry strawberries, and heavy cream. So we're making a ganache, mixing it and letting it cool on the side. Now let's assemble the chocolate, pouring a thin layer of Ruby chocolate, wiggling it around. I'm not gonna lie, this was a little harder than I thought, but we're all going to trust the process, okay? Yeah, it got really messy, but it's okay. I essentially just needed it to be all over and just thinly coated. So I got a chocolate scraper as well, and to the freezer we go. Of course, I'm not gonna make you wait. So now let's put our ganache in, which by the way, looks see-through and I really like it. So I'm putting it all over and then covering it with some more Ruby chocolate on top. I am only going to do 2 of them so we can test. If this works out, maybe I'll make all of them or I'll make something else with those chocolate bars. But this is where we're at. Send your prayers because I actually have no idea what's gonna happen. See you in part 2.
This is my chocolate cream pie, and it's gotta be one of my most delicious recipes. The mixture of fresh local dairy, dark chocolate, and that buttery cookie crust. You guys have to try this. Now let's get into it.
This is how a 3 Michelin star chef makes dessert at home with only 5 ingredients in less than 30 minutes. French chef Michel Bras, whose restaurant Bras Michel et Sébastien in the south of France has been rated 3 Michelin stars every year since 1999, and even classed multiple times as one of the top 10 restaurants in the entire world. But the story of this dish begins all the way back in 1981, when Chef Bras claims to have seen a family warming themselves up by drinking hot chocolate after a skiing trip, which would serve as the inspiration for what would eventually become one of the most popular high-end desserts in the world. However, Chef Bras' dish, which is a pain to make at home, is nothing like the popular version of the dessert today. For that variation, we turn our attention to another 3 Michelin star French chef, Jean-Georges Vongerichten, whose exact version, which he sells thousands of in his restaurants every single day, we're making today. Chef Vongerichten made his discovery 6 years later in New York in 1987, when he unintentionally pulled a chocolate sponge cake from the oven before it finished cooking, only to discover the still gooey chocolate center was a stroke of genius. And this is how the mi-cuit au chocolat, or chocolate lava cake, ultimately became popularized in America. But if you ask me, they're two completely separate dishes, and darn chocolatey, gooey, delicious ones at that.